Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Pearson, your elementary ELL teacher. Today we're going to focus on writing a written retell. You're going to write a retell for second grade journeys, lesson 7. And you're going to retell the story, The Ugly Vegetables by Grace Lynn. For this lesson, you will need a piece of paper and a pencil. And after we talk about the story and review it, at the end, you're going to challenge yourself and answer this question in writing. What happened in the story? Write a retell. And we're going to use our colors. Green means go, yellow means slow down, and red means stop. So we're going to first talk about the beginning of the story, or green. We're going to go, and you're going to say first, the girl and mom. You're going to write that and finish the sentence. Then we're going to slow down and talk about the middle of the story. And you're going to say later, the girl wishes. You're going to write that sentence frame and finish that sentence. And next, the mom cooks and finish that sentence. And then finally, we're going to stop and tell what happened at the end or the finish. And you're going to use the sentence starter last, everyone. So let's review our learning target. I can write a retell of the story, The Ugly Vegetables, using complete sentences. So let's say it again. I can write a retell of the story, The Ugly Vegetables, using complete sentences. And next, success criteria. How will you know you're successful at writing a retell? Here is the steps to success. We're going to do these together, one step at a time. So I will, number 1, say and match the characters and the setting. Who is in the story and where does the story take place? Then number 2, I will say and match the lesson or moral of the story, what the characters learned. Number 3, put the retelling pictures in the correct sequence or order. Number 4, say, match, and write the sentences to each picture, saying what happened first, later, next, and last. And that's when you're going to use those sentence frames that I give you. And then finally, check my writing using my writing checklist. And don't worry, we're going to do each one of these one step at a time. The Ugly Vegetables is a reality story. And for reality stories, here's our noticings. The story could happen. The places are real. The people can be real. Animals act like animals. You might learn facts, and it can be funny. Characters. What are characters? Characters are the people, animals, or objects in a story. Setting. Setting is where the story takes place. Sequence. Sequence is the order things happen in the story. You are going to write some of these sequence words: first, next, last. Also, first means beginning, middle, and end. What happened first, next, last, or what happened at the beginning of the story, middle of the story, and finally the end of the story. Let's review out loud, retell it out loud using our words. The Ugly Vegetables. The characters are, who were the characters in the story? The characters are the characters are the girl, the mom, and the neighbors. The setting. Where did the story take place? You can say the setting is I'll give you a hint. The setting is the girl's house and the neighborhood outside, the gardens. Now let's put our pictures in the correct sequence or order. First, later, next, and last. So look closely first. Tell me out loud, what's going on in that first picture? First, the girl and her mother. Well, first, in the spring, a girl and her mother or mom plant a garden. They use tall shovels to help them dig. Other neighbors start to plant gardens too. Later, what does the mom do and what does the girl wish? Later, later, the mom writes the names of Chinese vegetables on paper. Soon, their garden begins to grow. The girl looks at the neighbor's blooming flowers and wishes her garden wasn't so plain. Next, what does the mom do and the neighbors do? Next, the mom and the neighbors next the mom makes soup by cutting through the tough skin of the plain vegetables. The neighbors smell the soup scent. They come to trade their flowers for the yummy soup. And finally, at the end or last, what happens in the next spring? Last, both the mom and the girl and the neighbors, what do they do? Well, last, when spring comes again, everyone plants both Chinese vegetables and flowers. When the flowers start blooming again, you can almost smell the scent of soup in the air. So in the end, the girl learned that the ugly vegetables were good on the what the ugly vegetables were good on the inside or the outside. So in the end, the girl learned that the ugly vegetables were good on the inside. All right. Now that we've reviewed the story, it's the end. You're going to challenge yourself. You will need your piece of paper and a pencil. So if you don't have that, please get it right now. And then push pause and then push play once you have your materials. So you're going to answer this question. What happened in the story? You're going to write a retell using our green means go, yellow means slow down, and red means stop. You're going to use these sentence frames first, later, next, and last. But before you write, make sure you say each sentence out loud before you write it. It's good to say your sentence and then write it. And don't forget, here's our writing checklist. When you write words, use finger spaces between your words. So make sure you have finger spaces. Make sure you use punctuation. Put periods at the end of your sentences, each of your sentences. Use punctuation. Also use uppercase or capital letters at the beginning of each of your sentences. And make sure you sound out any words you don't know how to already spell. Sound them out, stretch out the sounds. And then my favorite, I like to reread each of my sentences so that make sure they make sense. So think about this as you're writing. Okay, so now it's time to answer the question, what happened in the story? Write a retell. We're going to use our green means go, yellow means slow down, and red means stop. So we're going to first write about the beginning or start of the story. So you need to write the words first. So write a capital letter F, and the rest are lowercase for first, F-I-R-S-T. You are going to write this first green sentence. First, the girl and mom, what do they do? So you need to push pause and write this sentence starter and then finish it with your own words. First, the girl and mom. So push pause and write this sentence and finish it. Once you're done with the green sentence, push play and we'll move on to the middle of the story. Now we're going to the middle of the story. We're going to slow down. Later, you're going to write later, start with a capital L, A-T-E-R. Later, the girl wishes. What does the girl wish? Later, the girl wishes. So say your sentence out loud and write these words. Push pause. And when you're done with this yellow sentence, push play and we'll move on. Now, next, what happened next? Make sure you write next, capital N, lowercase e-x-t. Next, the mom cooks. What does the mom cook? So make sure you write this sentence frame. Write next, the mom cooks, and finish your sentence. In writing, push pause. And once you're done writing the sentence, push play. Now we're at the end of the story or the finish. And you're going to write last, capital L, lowercase a-s-t, last. Everyone, what does everyone do at the end of the story when the next springtime comes? Last, everyone. So what I need you to do is push pause and write your last red sentence. Write last, everyone. What did they do? And then when you're done with this red sentence, push play to finish our lesson. Now it's time to check your work or your writing. Remember that writing checklist? Did you use your finger spaces between your words? Did you use punctuation? Did you have a period at the end of each of your sentences? Did you use an uppercase or capital letter at the beginning of each of your sentences? And did you sound out unknown words, words that you didn't already know how to spell? And then finally, my favorite, did you reread your retell? Did you reread each of your sentences? All right. If you need to, push pause and make sure that you've followed this checklist. And then when you're ready, push play again. And at the top of your retell, I want you to reflect on your learning target. What was our learning target? I can write a retell of the story, The Ugly Vegetables, using complete sentences. How do you think you did? Would you give yourself a 4? I could teach this lesson. I easily retold the story in writing using the sentence starters. I also used my writing checklist for all my sentences. Or would you give yourself a 3? I retold the story in writing using the sentence starters. I also used my writing checklist for most of my sentences. Or 2, I retold some of the story in writing and used my writing checklist for some of my sentences. Or 1, I did not retell the story and did not use my writing checklist. How do you think you did today? Reflect on your learning. 4, 3, 2, or 1. All right. So you can check your writing with mine if you want. First, what happened first? The girl and the mom plant a vegetable garden. Later, the girl wishes her vegetable garden wasn't so plain. Next, the mom cooks yummy vegetable soup and shares it with everyone. Last, everyone plants both vegetables and flowers in spring. All right, boys and girls, thanks for doing the written retell with me today. Have a great day.